Hello and welcome everyone. This is your astrology forecast for new moon in Aquarius. We reached the Aquarius archetype in these lunar phases, and the Aquarius theme is very strong, and it will be getting stronger and stronger in this February, because we will see as the month progresses all personal planets will be entering Aquarius and making conjunction with Pluto. And Pluto entered Aquarius recently on the 20th of January. And it's a big theme, it's an ongoing theme, and it will be very powerful, very intense, and it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. It's initiation into transformation, into a deep transformation. And I was thinking about how these same planets, same players create so many different stories. They are always different, they are always new. Nothing ever repeats itself in the same way. Everything is unique, just as this Aquarius archetype is teaching us that we are all unique, just as our fingertips. And everything has its unique vibration. Even the same type of tree, the same type of flowers, they each petal has its own frequency. And we see how same colors, same combination of colors creates different paintings, different images, different scenery. How same tones create different melodies, different music, but we use the same tones for creating it. Same planets create different combinations, same actors have different roles, same material creates different buildings, same blood gives different characters and people, same elements give different shapes and forms. And we see how these same things give something unique and different, and we will be recognizing these things within ourselves, in our friendships, in our communities, in our families, in nature, how everything in nature is created of same elements: earth, water, air and fire, and these four elements create all that there is. And if we pay attention to some of these things, we are able to recognize some miraculous things in our life that are happening around us all the time, but we don't see those things because we are too focused on our subjective perspective on things, on our issues, on our personal issues. We are too focused on resolving our personal issues, on avoiding pain, on avoiding suffering, on attaining our goals and ambitions, and we don't see these miracles around us. We don't notice how life is really, it's multi-layered, just as we are multi-layered beings. And this new moon is happening on 20 degrees of Aquarius, and whenever we have new moon, it's an event that is happening together with the sun. So the sun and the moon are together. They are in a sacred union, in sacred marriage, and they give new birth, new beginnings, new initiations. We are planting new seeds. These are, surprising developments that we are witnessing now, because Uranus is very complex sign. It's ruled by Uranus and Saturn, and it's very paradoxical and unique and futuristic and scientific, and it has many different archetypes. It represents many different things, and it's transpersonal. It's about our individuality, it's about our uniqueness, and it's about our place within a community. It's about humanitarian things. It's about being a human being. Aquarius is the sign of human being. It's the water bearer. And we see Aquarius is an air sign. It's a fixed air sign. So there is a lot of fixed energy there. And we have Uranus, the ruler of this new moon in Taurus, another fixed sign, and this new moon is making a square with its ruler Uranus, and there is some crisis there, a crisis that brings us an opportunity for liberation and for separation from attachments. It's electric energy, and we have this air element, and water bearer is also related with water, but not with water like Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, but water as an electric current, as the waters above, from above, the radio waves, electrical waves, radio waves, and it's very futuristic sign. That's why Aquarius is always related to those artificial intelligence themes and extraterrestrials and things that we don't quite understand, but we have a need to dig deeper and discover those things. That's why it's very scientific sign. It wants answers. It's looking for answers to everything, and we may have many answers to many mysterious and mystical things that are happening, and to things that we don't know, things that we don't understand, things that we never got answers for, things that no one knows to give us answers for, things that we have to find answers within ourselves. And we are continuing these themes of big changes, and this Aquarian archetype can be very fixated, as I said, can be also impatient, and we are now introduced to what we need to align with. Aligned with what we want can be very different from what others want, and now we are going to feel this dynamic energy between what we want and what others want, what our friends want, what our community, what our group of people, what people from our social circles want, and what we want. And we have to strengthen ourselves and understand how this energy, how my energy affects others, and how my energy affects the community, how my energy affects my friends, my family, and people around me. There is a big responsibility that we are becoming aware of, this responsibility that we have for the group of people that we interact with. It's not just that I'm responsible for myself. I also have responsibility because this is a big network. The Aquarius is also represents internet and World Wide Web and networks of people, the interconnectedness of everything, the connection of everything. And so how we are connected with everything and everyone around us. So what I do has an echoing impact on others around me, and probably on people, who I don't know personally, but who are related to my friends, friends of my friends, friends of my family, family of my friends. And this is how it grows exponentially. So we will see this big responsibility that we have, for everything that we do in our life. And we will have to take that greater responsibility. And Pluto is in the game. Pluto is in Aquarius. It's 0 degrees of Aquarius, and Mercury is in Aquarius. Mercury entered Aquarius on the 5th of February, and it made a conjunction with Pluto at those 0 degrees of Aquarius. Then Mars will join and enter Aquarius on the 13th of February, and it will make a conjunction with Pluto on the 14th. Then Venus will enter Aquarius and on the 16th, and will make a conjunction with Pluto on the 17th. And then Mars and Venus will make a conjunction on the 22nd in Aquarius. So this theme of Aquarius and Pluto and transformation and rebirth is very big and very strong. But Pluto will first destroy something. Pluto will first, bring something to consciousness. It will bring up fears we have to face, something will be right in our face, and we just have to face these things. And we are going to be initiated into those new beginnings, new seeds around Aquarian archetypes and themes like freedom, communities, friends, social structures, social networks, communities, online communities, teamwork, people we feel are like our brothers and sisters, social circles, networking, all these, connections will be very strong. And our feelings of ourselves within a community. Who am I within this community? Can I express myself? And we may have those strong needs to get away from something, to maybe disconnect from the group, to say, this is it, I'm getting out of it, this group is not for me, this team is not for me, this community is not for me, I have to do things on my own, I have to make my own, create my own sense of self without feeling that I belong somewhere. I have to belong to who I am first. So these are very, very strong energies. So we are also meeting aspects of our future selves, and just we are asked to follow this drive, to follow this ideal, and we will be shown what goes and what stays, what is here to stay and what needs to go. And this is strong need to do something on our own terms, to do something in our own way, to do something that I can say I did it my way, and just staying strong in who I am, despite what the group thinks, despite what are the rules of the group, and strong need for freedom. There is a very strong need for freedom, strong need to break free, and this energy is very personal, and it's about our personal needs as well, even though it's about transpersonal needs and our community, but also it's about what is happening inside of me. There could be something that we cannot handle anymore, because this square with Uranus is like there is a big breakdown and breakthrough of something where we feel limited and where we feel restricted. And if we have been giving too much, if we have taken on too much, if we may feel overwhelmed, and we may just want to cut it out, to just cut everything, to cut off all, not all, but to cut off some relationships, some connections. And we may see how we are either separating from a certain group of people, or we are becoming more intimate with a certain group of people. And because of this square with Uranus, we may really feel like, we may see something that we cannot do anymore, like, seeing that something is not my problem anymore. It's not my responsibility. It's not my problem. It's something that I don't want to deal with. It's something that I cannot handle. So I have to find my own way. And, just having that feeling of, what is my responsibility and what is not my responsibility. And we will feel this especially if we are working a lot with others, if we are connected with many people, if we have many responsibilities, duties and obligations with others. We may feel this pressure, and this pressure will be strong. Of course, this doesn't mean that all of us will break our connections and relationships with certain group of people. This doesn't have to happen at all, but we will feel this internally, like this pressure, this need. Or we may have a strong need to connect with a group of people, to be a part of a community, to be part of a certain team, to feel that union, that place where we come into union, where we feel like a true community, like a true tribe, where we feel that power of people. And we may feel this, very strong. We may even feel both needs at the same time. That's why Aquarius is a paradoxical sign. It carries a lot of paradoxes that from a higher level of perspective are not paradoxes at all, but from our point of view, those things are, just paradoxical. They don't make sense. But actually we can feel two different needs that are completely opposing each other, but we may feel a strong urge to have both of these opposite things. So we may have this need to just detach from a group of people and to belong to a certain group of people, or we may just have a need to set ourselves free. Like we may feel I can do this better on my own. No one can do this better than me. I will do this on my own. I don't need anybody's help. Or we may feel that others betrayed us and that we are left alone and that we have to do this all alone by ourselves, and we have a need for others to come in and help us. These are all actually our very inner conflicts, with our first community that we were part of. And our first community that we were part of is our family. That's our first community. So we always have to come back to those first impressions. Our first teachers were our parents, our brothers and sisters, our grandparents, people who were responsible for our upbringing. So these were the people who are our first contact with the community, with people, with the tribe, with social circles. So we are going to see those patterns, how they are now projected into the world, and how we project those internal conflicts that we carry within ourselves, that we have inherited from those first impressions, how we project them outward into those relationships that we now have with communities and with people and with friends. So there are going to be breakups probably, or we may witness these breakups around us in our community. People who are part of certain team in our that we are part of, we may see those individuals clashing, and we may see many collisions as well. And we may just say, I'm gonna go my way. I want to do this my way, and it's not your way, it's not the way of my parents, it's not the way of my ancestors, it's not the way of authorities, it's not the way of anyone who is telling us how to live and what to do, but it's my way and I am inventing it. This Aquarius archetype is very innovative. It's about innovations and inventions, future oriented. So it's about having brilliant ideas, and Mercury and Pluto together bring some very deep, genius, brilliant thoughts and ideas. So we may have these strong flashes of insights and some, lightning strikes as well. This new moon is really giving us strength to understand that we are capable of doing things on our own. We are capable of bringing that light into the group of people and sharing our heart with others, sharing who we are. It's not about either extreme. It's not about losing ourselves in a group or in a community or with friends or with family. It's not about finding security within the group of people, because many of us will have that need to hide behind others, to hide in a group of people, to hide in a crowd, behind the masses, to be a part of the mass revolutionary processes, or to be a part of a big collective movement of any kind, because it's easier, to hide behind the masses. Or many of us will also have that need to stand out to detach from the group and to do things on our own. But as always, it's not about going into either extreme. It's not about just detaching from everyone and just being on our own, and it's not either about losing ourselves in others, but it's about, just understanding that we are capable of being on our own, on bringing our own unique selves and bringing that into the group of people, bringing that to others, sharing our gifts and our talents, our abilities with others. And it's this new moon is going to bring up some things that we understand that we have outgrown. Some things that maybe we wanted before come now, and we understand that we don't need them or want them anymore. And these square energies that can be challenging are actually bringing us growth always. As long as there are challenges, we are growing, and we cannot grow if there are no challenges. So these squares are very powerful, and this energy is reminding us to be grateful not only for the things that are good in our life, because it's very easy to be grateful for things that we already have, for things that are good in our life, and for things that we cherish and value. But being grateful for things that we don't want, for things that are uncomfortable, for things that we don't like, for things that are stressful, for things that are exhausting, for things that are bringing us stress and pain and suffering, being grateful for those things, it's not very easy. But this energy is really teaching us, not only now but always. Life is always teaching us to be grateful for things that we don't want, for things that we avoid. And as long as we avoid something, it will keep coming. It will keep repeating. So I highly recommend to all of us to be more grateful for all the things that we don't want, that we don't like, that we just don't want to face, that we just want to ignore. And we are going to see where we are ready to set ourselves free. To see where we are resisting something, where there is strong resistance. These things will be like very stiff now, where we feel that resistance and stuck energy. But this energy just gives us an opportunity to jump into the unknown, to jump beyond what is seen and known. And change is happening, whether we are ready or not. This change is happening. Uranus is in the game, Pluto is in the game, Aquarius archetype, and it's really not asking us if we can handle it or not. It is happening. And as I say many times, it's not about what is happening in our life. It's about how we handle these things. It's about how we react to what is happening in our life. And many people think and confuse these things. They think that if they have good intentions, if they do good things, if they do everything to improve themselves, that life will become a miracle, and that everything will run smoothly, and that life will become just a la la land. But it's not possible. Life is not made up in that way. It's a dynamic, multi-dimensional, very complex. I don't know how would I call it. We can call it many names, but it's a continuous change and dance of everything, and it's a cosmical blood flow that is always changing and transforming and regenerating and dying and rebirthing, and it's all within us as well. So there is really a necessity that is happening right now. It's inevitable energy. And as I said, it's not about controlling what is happening in our life. It's about how we react to what is happening in our life. And it's not about externalizing happiness. It's not about manifesting things that we want in life all the time, manifesting good, but it's about learning how to surf through ups and downs of life. It's learning how to be still no matter what's happening. It's learning how to grow wisdom in pain. It's learning how to become catalyst of all changes that are happening, whatever they are. So there is a big push through, and it can be hard, especially when we want to just see and understand everything. But it is a big energy of letting go and surrendering as well. We have this Saturn in Pisces and Jupiter in Taurus, and they are making a sextile. So we have this support of just understanding the divine intelligence in everything and learning how to truly let go, how to really let go of things that we cannot change and things that we cannot control. There is really not so much that we can control, and we think that we can control many things. There are more things that are outside of our control than there are things that are under our control. And this is time when things are coming together for many of us, and these new beginnings are very radical. We may do some very radical new beginnings, and for many people life will be very different after this February, and many things will change for many people. It's very life-changing energy, very life-changing, and it's about really understanding that quality is over quantity, and we are going to be introduced to those lessons, and just seeing that we are on this threshold and we are being pushed further, and we may be just holding to doors, like holding. We don't want to be pushed, but we are being pushed in a big way, and we just have to let go of that need to hold. Just let it go. But many of us will be trying to hold, so it will be painful for that reason, because we are resisting. But we just have to allow this to push us through. And it's something is changing permanently in our life. Something is definitely changing in a big way, and we are going to develop more of that inner core strength. This is something that we definitely have to be more focused, and this is a very unique perspective. We are having a unique perspective, and there are things that we are dealing with, things like rejection, betrayal, abandonment, judgment. We are resisting the conditionings that we have inherited from family and culture and tradition and religious viewpoints and external authorities. There is a pressure to join a group of people. There is a pressure to join a certain team of people, and Aquarius are within us seeks freedom. So we want freedom and we want to belong. So which way we're going to go? There is this split that is happening again within us. There is this polarity, and Aquarius is also archetype of outsiders, so we may feel like an outsider, or we may connect with others who feel like outsiders. And if we have felt like outsiders all our lives, we may start feeling more special because of this. But this is another trap. This Aquarius archetype can push us into being too rebellious, too revolutionary, too focused on changing the external world when we have to change something within ourselves. So we may be too eccentric just for the sake of being different, just for the sake of being special, of being different from the crowd, different from the masses. But this is another trap, this is another program, and we may feel these things much strongly within ourselves and within our group of people who are around us. We may also feel judged and misunderstood, and we may understand that it's not always that a group of people makes us feel better. Sometimes a group of people makes us feel worse, and sometimes we inherit a lot of traumas through group activities, and we may be healing within a group of people traumas that we have inherited from a group of people. It's very complex and profound process and material that we are dealing with, and we are invited to look at ourselves and ask, where have we sacrificed our authenticity, and for what? Why have I sacrificed my authenticity? Is it out of fear? Is it, of course it's out of fear, because we have, it's either fear or love. Why we are doing certain things, out of fear or out of love. And where have I been brainwashed, by culture, by tradition, by family, by my environment, and my surrounding. And these outside pressures that created our personalities will become stronger, and we may see how these layers are being taken away. They are, we are peeling off these layers of personality that has been created because of that pressure of the outside world. It is a big piece of our personality that we may not know. So there is divinity within us too, so we are going to discover that divinity, part of us that is real us, and part of us that is traumatized, that is created that under the pressure, out of fear, because we had to behave in that way, we had to pretend, we had to do certain things in order to be accepted, to be a part of group, to be a part of team, to be a part of family. So we may see those outsider selves, and this is the process of individuation. And it's a lot about understanding that learned behavior and unlearning learned behavior. And Pluto can be uncomfortable, but the goal is to transform. It is the process of healing and the process of regeneration, of death and rebirth, and it brings out our traumas, and we cannot run away from it, we cannot avoid it. This is about our strengths and weaknesses, and we will see our strengths and weaknesses more and more. We will see our anger, our pride, and we have to keep our conscious level high in order to discern and to see that anger is not something bad. Not one emotion that we have is bad, but how we react to it, what we do with it, our viewpoint, our opinion about it is what makes it, what gives it negative or positive polarity. So we are asked to focus on the highest expression of these archetypes, to be ourselves, to stop sacrificing our authenticity, not feeling betrayed but feeling strong, not being fearful but being fearless, to believe in ourselves, to cultivate courage, to tap into the freedom of expression of who we are, to step away from pride into bravery, to be aware of where we are always at any given moment, and we can always choose from where we want to react. That's something that is our control, that is under our control. We can always choose from which place we are going to react to something. So we are being asked, are we afraid of change? Are we angry? Are we proud? Are we in pain? Are we hurt? are we betrayed? Can we find that inner strength and inner warrior in all of these things? Can we find that courage? Can we find that place within ourselves that is not afraid? It's electrifying and rebellious energy, and we are asked, to go our own way. Something is coming forward, and it's connecting us with our future timeline, and something that felt very far away, that felt like very, very far away, is coming to awareness. It's coming alive, and we are asked to trust more and to think in new ways. We are developing new ways of thinking, new mental patterns, new ways of processing things. And we are reminded that we don't know all the answers, and nobody does. No one around us knows all the answers. And we want to do something new and different. We want to do things in a different way, in a new way. And it could be rebellious, like we are feeling nobody's going to tell me how to live my life. Nobody's going to tell me what am I going to do with my free time, or with my resources, or with my finances, or with my relationship. No one's going to tell me what to do with it. So we may feel this strong rebellious energy now. And we are having these options now to make serious decisions. We are given we have choices about future direction that is not yet there. It is just forming now. And it's about big ideals, and it's about what is truly essential. How do we own the sense of self? And it's something, Aquarius, this energy is really reminding us of something that we know, and that we don't know how we know it, but we just know it. That feeling, that sense, that hunch, and something that is authentically you is rising now. Something that is authentically me is rising. And fears will come up, of course, because it's something that has to come up together with this sense of who I am, this sense of self, this fear of belonging, fear of not knowing who is my group of people, who is my tribe, who is my community. And this pressure to belong can be turned inward, and this pressure is good, because there is no release without the pressure. We need pressure in order to release something. And when we are authentic, we manifest the best version of ourselves. And it is always scary to be who we authentically are. It's risky. It's really risky to be who we truly are. It's always risky. But this is when we come out of our programming. This is where we come out of those traumatized personalities. And we are going into that we are going through that process of reconnection and recreation. And we are going to see where we are being held back, seeing what is really not resonating with who am I anymore. And it's helping us heal. Chiron is in Aries, and this new moon is making a supportive sextile aspect with Chiron and North Node. So this is something that is karmic, that is destined, that is fated, that is meant to be. But we will have these opportunities that we have to act upon. Self-trust, keep trusting and believing, and tap into deep knowingness, and knowing that where we are going to see where we need to grow up now. And just seeing that I don't need anybody's approval. I don't even have to wait for my approval. Just owning myself, knowing my worth. I don't need nobody's permission. I only need to feel that I'm accepted and that I accept everything that I'm going through. I'm accepting my pain, I'm accepting my past, I'm accepting everything, and I'm not attached to the history of who I am. Because we may see this strong attachment to our personal history of who we are, and we are letting go of that history, because this is not who we truly are. We are not our history, we are not our past. We are recreating ourselves all the time. And these Aquarian themes, they are going to be very strong in the collective for a very long time with this Pluto here, and this February is a big initiation of whole that process. And these themes of digital control, artificial intelligence, advanced technology, transhumanism, awakening, the age of Aquarius, and we were asleep and now we are awakening from a deep sleep, from a collective nightmare. And this is a process of individuation, as I said. These are protests. This is inner protest, inner rebellion, inner revolution, waking up. Neo wakes up from the matrix. We want to see the change, we see the truth, and we want to act. And we move from the victim mode, the age of Pisces. From the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, we move from that masochistic victim mode, self-pity, sacrifice, into this genius mode of human being, of owning ourselves, of being authentic. We have paid our karmic debts. We had to sacrifice, and now we are going through this resurrection process, and we had to learn these lessons, but we don't have to repeat them anymore if they are learned. So we're going to feel these themes of independence and rebelliousness and freedom, and this desire for freedom will be very strong, and rebelliousness against authority. But this is about truly understanding what is a true revolution, what is a real revolution. It's always starting with ourselves. It's my revolution within myself that will help others do the same. Aquarius is related to the symbol of human being. It's the pentagram, the 5 elements, air, water, earth, fire, and ether, that connects all of these 4 elements. And it's the Da Vinci's Vitruvi Man, the Vitruvi Man standing, sorry, the Vitruvi Man standing like the star. The 5 elements. We have 2 legs, 2 hands, and the head. And Aquarius is always related to the head. It's about becoming a real human being. Aquarius is also related to angel archetype. It's reminding us that we are all stars, and symbol for Pisces is the cross, and we are moving from that cross into the star. This is the evolution from the cross into the star, and we carried our cross. We were crucified. We were paying our karma, and now we are moving towards that resurrection. And we are asked to stand for our truth. It's about the integrity, and it's a lot about those people who felt marginalized and unheard. And we are going to face these strong issues around the power, and who has the power, who runs the world, and not only the world, but who runs my world, who runs your world. Where are you giving your power away? Do you create your own life and your own reality, or do you let others decide for you and create your life and your reality? And it's there is a lot of disclosure, and with this new technology and things that are just making us shift things in our consciousness. There is this shift in consciousness that is happening through connection, through information. This is the age of data, the age of information, and information needs to lead to transformation. We have to be very careful and very aware of what kind of information we take in. And everything is just fast, and it's growing faster and faster. It's it's much more connected, and this overload of data and speeding up of time and people not having time to do anything, this will reach its peak, and we will just have to make some changes in our life to understand that we have to create something where we feel really self-sufficient and independent. This Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, is in Taurus, self-sufficiency, and these power dynamics that are very complex are they create these catalysts for the soul. So we are finding trust in ourselves and internal value system. We have to recreate the whole internal value system and how we live our life and what we consider enjoyable. It's a very healing journey, very deep healing journey. And of course we are going to understand, to see those needs and exploring the lack, where we lack that those needs that mommy and daddy didn't attend or didn't recognize. We didn't have father and mother for all our needs, for every need that we had, and those things create sub-personalities within ourselves. Those are complexes within our minds, and these complexes are like mini entities, and they interfere with our life and in our relationships, in our everyday life. And we are now, thanks to these things, we are learning our individual unique taste, and we are going to feel this through our relationships as well, through our intimate relationships. Pluto is a lot about intimate relationships, and those we love the most are the ones we experience the hardest things with. And this is, love is where we experience the scariest things and where we explore the scariest places. It's our most delicate area. So we are going to explore those delicate areas, those places that we are afraid of, and understand our limitations, accepting the cards that we are dealt, and accept the material that we are working with. And how do we handle power and authority? Do we know our authority within ourselves? How do we behave when we don't have authority, and when we think that freedom is when we are free to do just anything, and when we don't have any authority, not even our own? So this is something that really leads just to that, as I said, being eccentric and rebellious just for the sake of being eccentric and rebellious, not knowing what to do with that freedom, just creating anarchy. But we don't need that. This is something different. We know more than this. We are much more than that, and we have to go through these processes of self-forgiveness and being more flexible with others. Embracing that rebel within ourselves and feeling the imprisonment, and at the same time having that urge for freedom, and breaking some rules, but breaking our rules, breaking rules that we have inherited while growing up, but not the ones that are really worthy. Of course, not everything that we have inherited is trauma. There are some good things, of course. Of course we are not supposed to burn the whole world down, but to be able to understand what is worthy and what is not worthy, what needs to change, what values are real and worthy, and which values are just not serving us at all. And universe wants us to receive clarity, but we may feel like we are, knocked down. That's how sometimes how life works. When the universe wants us to know something, we feel like we are just smacked in the face. And this is inevitable. It's rooted in our soul, and it may be painful. These are some things that we don't want to see, but we cannot escape it. We have to accept it. And learning to be human and feeling relief from overstimulation, because we have that need for overstimulation all the time in our relationships, in having fun, in avoiding others, in connecting with others, in all our polarized and extreme behaviors. We have that need for overstimulation and over enthusiasm, but this is not something that is giving us that sense of self and that sense of trust. And we have to honor the structure and form and limitation as well. It's about having healthy boundaries, not being completely limitless. Knowing what we need and how to provide what we need. Connecting with our unmet needs, and opportunity to sow a seed for a new structure that is liberating, and also sowing a seed for a healthy community, for healthy relationships, for healthy networking, for creating new support in groups. Not we see how in a society we just shut down people who don't fit in. We put them to sleep. If we don't like how certain people behave, we put them to sleep, and that's not the solution. It's not the solution to hide these people, to judge them, to blame them, but to see what's the problem, to see why that happened in the first place, what caused that behavior, what is the issue there, what is the cause, where does it come from, to understand the complexity of being a human being, to understand the pain and suffering, to understand the differences, to understand the uniqueness in everyone, and to see how can we create a healthier community. Because we either we want it or not, we are a part of community anyway. We are in this life, in this world, and just by being here now, we are part of the community, part of this whole world. So we have to see why are certain things happening that we don't like in this big community, in this big family that we are a part of, and why certain tragedies, dramas, and horrors are happening, and why are we directly just instantly blaming and criticizing, and then we have that anger, then we want to just remove those people or punish them or judge them. Or where is that coming from? Where is that need coming from? That need for that kind of justice, and why? What do we think we are going to resolve by doing this? Even in our smaller groups, in our family, if we have some problem with a certain member of our family, we cannot just get away from them or escape or avoid or run away. We have to see why is that happening, why is this in front of me, what is this telling me, what could be the solution. These are creative, innovative, genius solutions, futuristic, different, unconventional solutions, unconventional ways of thinking, totally different, extraterrestrial ways of thinking, very eccentric, revolutionary, and it comes from all these complexities in our society, comes from the depths of our soul history. And we are leaving the box behind. I always say, Aquarius is thinking outside of the box, but also understanding that there is no box at all. So we are leaving this box behind. And, we know this box, maybe we know every corner of it. And it has given us some structure, a sense of self, a sense of identity, but we are leaving it behind. And we are moving out of that box towards some higher understanding of who we are, of what life is about, and why we are here. And of course it's scary. It's like a roller coaster, but it's also exciting, and we may feel like there is nothing to hold on to, no material to be dominated, to be imprisoned, to fight against, to rebel against. What do we do when we don't have something to fight against? And we are kicked out of our nest, and we may be dealing with external authorities, but also with our own authority, with unhealthy authority that we have within ourselves. Of course, it's easy to be still and to meditate in the jungle when nobody's watching and when nobody's around. It's simple to shut out the world, to stay in our bedroom, to get get out of everything. And of course, it's also easy to do the different extreme, to run away from that into multitasking, into overworking, into having millions of tasks and duties. So, we are learning more about boundaries and knowing when to say no. Knowing that this is my path, this is my truth, this is my way. It may not be the way of my ancestors, it may not be the way of my friends or my children or my guides, but it's my way, and I will find it, I will discover it. And this is journey about discovering and reinventing myself. We have to emerge from this place of isolation and separation, to break free from expectation, where we feel the force of contraction that is very strong, with that feeling of walls closing in, state of emergency, panicking, claustrophobia. But we are now receiving more breathing room. We are expanding that whole place within ourselves, more expansion. We are leaving the energy of contraction and we are moving into expansion. And there is a breath of fresh air. Aquarius is an air sign. It's new beginning. It's a breath of fresh air. And, we are having an access to the library of who we are, the library of our soul, the library of the world as well. And we are going to see people are unplugging from the matrix. Uranus, the great awakener, chooses with free will not to take part in matrix and illusion. And of course, we may see tribes of people who are unplugging from matrix coming together and creating our own matrix. And these are baby steps, but these are new beginnings that bring more freedom, more individualistic expression, more dignity, more self-respect, more self-sufficiency, more individuation, more soul expression, and more vision of the future. Aquarius is the sign of truth, of science, of the visionaries, and it's the higher mind. It's galactic energy. These are things that wake us up, and it's unleashed energy. Unleashed lion, and we may feel that strongly. The power of people, rebellious and revolutionary, earthquakes, volcanoes, unstable energy, extreme weather, extreme behavior. All these things are very strong. Finding our tribe, finding our community, but also finding our own authority. and feeling that power and strength within the group of people, but also within ourselves. And of course, many of us who are waking up to certain things understand that everything in nature has life force in it, it has spirit in it, and there is a powerful healing potential there. There is a profound connection with nature now, and we are rediscovering this connection through vivid dreams, through synchronicities, through psychic energy, through nature and animals. And this is available to all of us. It's not hidden from any of us. And these are things, that we have never done before, something that has never been done before, and we are called to take action and to share our gifts and talents in a way we've never done before. And it's time for something that previously wasn't time for. So, it's time to do something on our own. And this new moon tests our free will, our power, our humanity. We are invited to take a deeper look into our collective nightmare and recognize our own shadow in it. We are invited to take a deeper look into our repressed and expressed traumas in order to stop pointing fingers and start resolving our triggers. This is a time to deal with social anxiety and to take responsibility for what is going on in our lives without projecting our inner monsters outside of us. We are reminded that we are all pieces of the puzzle, and that the key is in waking up our inner technology, our inner advanced selves. And the tools that we need are all around us. We need the sunlight, daily walks, good sleep, right nutrition, grounding. We need purpose and goals. We need exercise. We need healthy authority. We need healthy boundaries. We need social life and relationships. And as there is a saying that says, smooth seas do not make skillful sailors. We must face obstacles in life, and this energy is teaching us this. And there is also a great quote by Rumi. Of course, I always quote Rumi. It says, not only the thirsty seek the water, but the water as well seeks the thirsty. And with this, I would end this forecast for this new moon in Aquarius, and I wish you all a very, very happy new moon, and see you in 2 weeks. Bye bye.